Hello and welcome back to Copy and, the marketing podcast where I teach you how to write copy that sounds like you, but converts better. And today I've been thinking about the ways that we can add copy to sneak in some sales to make sure that we have what I call abs, that we always be selling in our copy, and that we just constantly have it present for the opportunity to people, that we are always giving people the opportunity to buy from us. So often, sales is treated as a four-letter word, and it most certainly is not around here, because you are a business owner and you are here to sell more. So there are some opportunities of places where you can add copy so that people are consistently keeping themselves up to date on what it is that you offer, even if it's not overtly a full sales email or a full sales page where you have to drive traffic and convince somebody to buy. We're just constantly making it available for people to make purchases from us. So I've got a list here. I would be super curious if you have other ideas that I don't touch on. I really hope that you reach out and tell me. You can reach me on Instagram at nomad.copy and tell me what are some of the other ways that you use kind of micro pieces of copy to sell more. But here's the list that I have for you. So the first one, and this is something that I added a couple of years ago and it has made me more sales, is I have added a standard signature to every single email I send. Now, this goes two different ways. The first that I'm thinking of is in my general email. So I use Gmail as my service provider for my email. And when I reply to an email, every single time in the footer of that email or in the signature of my email, it has my email address, a link to my website, and something that I'm currently promoting. So I think right now it says something like, "And have you checked out my podcast? Here's my favorite episode," and it gives a little snippet about my favorite episode. But in the past, I have had my signature program there. I have had an offer that I discount only to my email, and it says, "Hey, want a secret discount? Grab insert resource here in the footer of my email," and it constantly lives there. So whether I'm replying to a client, my accountant, a fellow service provider, that's just always there as an opportunity for people to buy something from me. And yes, it has converted before. That is a free place for me to place my copy and people can buy from me. And who doesn't love a couple of random sales here and there? So that's option one, is in the typical signature of every single email you send. Then something that I implemented recently is what has been called a super signature, or 4x4 footers is what Donna Ju calls them. I'll make sure a link to her 4x4 footers training is in the link in the show notes. But what the super signature or the 4x4 footer is at the bottom of every promotional email you send. So for me, this is every email that goes out to my full list from ActiveCampaign, has 4 little boxes at the bottom where I get to bring in some personality, but I also get to bring in some opportunities. So this is a great place for me to put things that I'm currently an affiliate for, reminding people of offers that I have or events that are coming up, or simply to just throw in the personality piece. Like recently I've been telling people what I've been reading in my signature. It gets a lot of replies and it gets a lot of clicks, which is ultimately what we want, is people to be engaging with our emails. So that's kind of 2 ways in idea 1 for where you can put in some sneaky copy to make extra sales is in your signature or in the footer of your emails. Place 2 is right on your website. And there's 3 places that we forget about that are prime real estate that don't detract from the message of your website overall. And that is the promotional or the announcement bar at the tippy top of your website, a pop-up that can come up anywhere in your website or in the footer of your website. So let's talk about each of those. An announcement typically does really well when you have an active promotion going on. This may be that you're promoting an upcoming webinar. It may be that you have an open cart and you worry that people are going to end up somewhere on your website but somehow don't end up on your sales page. Adding an announcement bar at the top of the page is a great way to get them to where they mean to be during your open cart. You can also leverage that announcement bar at the top of your website when you're not launching. I think it's a perfect place to add in your signature freebie or the one thing that gets people onto your list. Second place on your website is a pop-up. There's a couple different types of pop-ups. Typically, people think that they're annoying, but they are the easiest thing to X out of. If people don't want your pop-up, they will get out of it immediately. My standard pop-up on my website takes people to my podcast. A pop-up on your website could be promoting something that you're actively promoting. It helps people navigate your website to get somewhere else that they may want to go, or could promote something free that ultimately gets them onto your list. Whatever you do for any of these that are on your website, do not send people away from your website. So when I say that my pop-up sends people to my podcast, it sends them to the page on my website that hosts my podcast. Then people can click out. Because ultimately, if you're doing any sort of SEO, or if you want your website to act as your salesperson, you need it to connect to itself, which means that you're building authority to the algorithm. To build authority for the algorithm, people have to be able to navigate your website easily. So when you're sending people somewhere, this is not where you promote for somebody else. This is where you promote yourself and you help people navigate your website more easily. So I've mentioned the promo or the announcement bar at the top of the website, a pop-up that comes through partway through your website, and then the last place that a lot of people forget about is in the footer of your website. So typically your footer is going to be where you have your privacy policy. It's going to be maybe potentially a sitemap that helps people find where they need to go in your website. This is also an opportunity to add in a form that people can use to get into one of your free things or to help them navigate somewhere else on your website. So when you hand over your copy to your designer, make sure you mention to them what you want in the footer of your website so that they can program it in and people can more easily navigate your website, and that we're using every single piece of real estate on your site to get people where they need to go. The third place that people forget to sell is in their post-sales email sequence. So when somebody buys something from you, they probably get an email that says, "Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Here's the link to access the thing that you just bought from me." However, we mentioned in the last episode that people who buy a service from you are 70% more likely to buy from you again. And it's a very similar statistic for people who buy digital products or small ticket items from you. They are also more likely to become your next client as well. So when you are positioning your offer, rather than just saying, "Here's the thing that you paid for," don't be afraid to also get them into an order bump, another opportunity, or to downsell them to one of your other digital offers. Let's walk through a couple of examples of this. I recently joined a program, and immediately when I joined the program, I got the email that said, "Here's access to the program. And if you want access to my brain, don't forget to join the community." And the community was another $100 or $200 a month. So she used the post-sale sequence to not only welcome me and roll out the red carpet for the thing that I purchased, she also gave me the opportunity to stay in her world and to get even more value out of what it was that I ordered. So that was a high-ticket offer. If you're selling somebody a low-ticket offer, you can say, "And did you know that what you just bought pairs perfectly with this other thing that I have? To get more than twice the value, make sure you grab this other thing." So there's a lot of ways to use that post-sale sequence to sell more. You can also, if you're doing done-for-you services and you're only making several sales per year, you can also time your responses and send them out much later to say, make them look like 6-month checkups. To say, "Hey, let's jump on a call and see if there's anything that we need to improve with the service that I provided for you." That serves as another sales call, and it makes you look really freaking good because you're helping them to continue achieving the goals that they had when they hired you. So far I've said we've got opportunities in the signature, opportunities on your website, and even opportunities from people who have already purchased from you. So let me go through a couple of other quick places in which people can buy from you. One, I know a lot of us are doing public speaking, whether it's virtual or in person. A huge place that you can sell to people is right on your slides without making a pitch. Personally, I love it when I'm in person and somebody puts a QR code on the screen. It gives me something to do to fiddle with my hands, and it keeps me in the speaker's world. So you can put a QR code on the screen. You can have access to one of your offers. It can be a link is on the screen. Your goal when speaking is to keep people engaged. So this is another opportunity to keep them engaged in your world, even if they're not actively listening to what you're saying. Because people are going to get distracted anyway. You might as well distract them with your offer. This one might be super obvious, but another place to go is your Instagram bio. There are a lot of opportunities to improve your Instagram bios, but I cannot tell you how many times I've been looking for a service provider and they don't have a link to their services in their bio. What I recommend as a copywriter who understands things like design and SEO is to not use a service like link in bio or Canva as the link that you send people to from your Instagram. Instead, create a hidden link on your website. So I use Squarespace. That's where my website is. There is a link on my website that is not linked to the rest of my website. It's nomadcopyagency.com/links. That URL, the /links URL, is what I put in the bio of all of my social media. And that links page is very simple. It's optimized for mobile, and it serves as an everything page where you go there and you can see how to get to my podcast, how to get to some of my offers, how to get on the wait list for a copy on demand, where to go to work with me, and it has links to each of my other social medias. When I say that you have an opportunity in the copy for your Instagram bio or for your social bio, that's what I mean. Is not just what are you saying in that bio, but make sure that there's a link so that you can take people from all the parts of the internet and drive them towards your website so that you have people entering your website and navigating to different parts of your website. It'll be good for SEO, and it makes it a heck of a lot easier for the people who are coming to you to buy from you and to stay in your world. I mentioned this a bit previously when I was talking about your post-sale sequence, but you can also sell to people who are already in your programs, who have purchased from you. An example of this is when I log into a program that I'm in. When I go to that front page and it says welcome, it takes me to a video that welcomes me to the program. Inside of the program as well, there are places for me to further achieve my goals. For example, let's say that I'm in a course. When I log into the course, I can go watch the videos. Underneath the videos, there are opportunities for me to get on her calendar to discuss it more deeply. So that is an upsell. There's opportunities for me to download a different resource that's not included in the program. That's another way to upsell. So that she's creating an ecosystem around her offer. Just because somebody has already bought from you does not mean that they don't want to buy from you again or that you don't have the permission to sell to them. If I click on something that I don't have access to and I don't want it, I'm just not going to buy it. But don't stand in the way of your own sales by not including some opportunities for people to buy from you who have already purchased from you. In a similar vein, where you can also do that is inside of your freebie. I mentioned this a few episodes ago in the 3 most common questions that I got from copy on demand clients in Q1. I think that might have been episode 30 if you want to scroll back. But inside of your freebie, the problem that I see is that people won't pitch their offer until the last page of the PDF or the end of the webinar or whatever the thing is that people opt into for free. The opportunity to purchase isn't until the end, which means that every second that goes by, every scroll that goes by, people are getting less and less engaged. So if you don't pitch to them early or tell them what the value of working with you is early, they may not get to the part where you get to pitch to them. So then when they start receiving your welcome emails, they're going to be confused because in their mind, you are somebody who gives them something for free. And they need the opportunity to purchase from you and know what it is that you do that helps them. So in your freebie, I recommend, if it's a PDF, you start with the title slide or the title page. You go into the table of contents, tell them what they're going to learn, then introduce yourself and tell them not just what they're going to learn, but what the next step is after they learn the thing that's included in your freebie. Give them the opportunity on that page to click a button to solve the next problem with you, whether that's a one-on-one with you or to purchase a template or purchase a course. Use your freebie. Use the copy inside of your freebie to sell more to people. And finally, I have a lot of people who launch and they will include videos in their emails. Here's what I recommend if you have a video, especially a video that's explaining how something works. For example, let's say that you're a fitness trainer and you're selling a fitness app. You may want to include a video of how the fitness app works in your email. Rather than embedding that video into your email, I recommend having people click out to be on a different page. And then all around that video, there are going to be opportunities to buy. There could be a button on the video, especially if you're sending people to YouTube. You can add an overlay button for people to click on. If you are sending something on Loom, you can include both an overlay on the Loom if you have a paid account or in the comments. Make sure that you're the first comment and that you put a link to buy from you in that comment. If the video is embedded on a page in your website, make sure that there is a link right below the video to get started now and go buy the thing from you. If you are demonstrating anything, you want people to click through on it and you want people to have the opportunity to buy while they're excited, especially when they're watching the video. So in conclusion, there are a lot of places that we can add copy that aren't just our emails and our website. You can add things to your signature, whether that's the signature just coming from your Gmail account that you add onto everything, or the signature inside of your sales or nurture emails that are coming from your email service provider like Kit, Drip, or ActiveCampaign. Use the top, use that promo section, use the footer section, and use pop-ups creatively, especially if you have the opportunity to embed things like exit intent pop-ups or promotional pop-ups to get people to potentially insert their information to get a discount or something like that. Use your other emails like your post-sale sequence. Leverage the fact that people are excited to be in your world, that they're new to your world, in your freebie or in your paid offer or in your post-sale sequence to get them to purchase something else from you, or at least to educate them about the other ways that you can help them. Add it to your slides if you're public speaking, and just remember, abs, always be selling. If there is an opportunity for you to add or a button or some way that people can continue to stay in your world, you should absolutely do that. Are people going to buy from you every single time? No, but at least the opportunity is there, and you will move forward knowing that you are not afraid to put the right things in front of the right people, and they will be able to decide when the right time is for them to buy. And as always, I'm going to be here to help you sell along the way. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me at nomadcopyagency.com. My Instagram is nomad.copy. And if you want somebody to write all this stuff for you, just reach out at nomadcopyagency.com/contact. I'll see you next week.